Good morning and good evening, friends. Welcome to GoOnlineTrainings.com. So nowadays, everybody is asking about Microsoft Fabric, why it is important to learn today, and why Microsoft is given a new tool, in order to have the workloads of data engineering team as well as data analytics team. Let us understand one by one. Let me give you the introduction about Fabric. So, what is the Microsoft Fabric and Microsoft Fabric architecture, and create a free Microsoft Fabric account? So, this is what we're going to understand today. Let me go and continue further. So, what is a Microsoft Fabric? Microsoft Fabric is a unified data and analytics platform that integrates data engineering workloads, data science workloads, real-time analytics workloads, and business intelligence workloads into a single cloud-based platform, which is a SaaS as a model. So, what is a PaaS as a model? Platform as a model, we knew everything will be taken care by the cloud platform. SaaS means that is completely a software as a service. That is how Microsoft Fabric is going to be working. So let me tell you where exactly we're going to use Microsoft Fabric. So I want it to. So let me open Notepad and let me explain. So the company, so any company you take it, for example, Star Health or a Walmart company or Phone Pay company, State Bank of India, any company, if they want to analyze their data, the first issue is that they will not be able to have the data in the single source. They will have different sources, right? There have thousands of sources all over the world, and wherever there is a source, there is a large amount of data. So what normally we do, we are going to be collecting all the data with the help of ETL, and all this data is going to be loaded into the data warehousing, right? So to get the data, load the data into this, what normally we do, we are going to be using some kind of EDF platform. So here we may use SSIS on premises or ADF, Azure Data Factory. We are going to be going and getting all the meaningful data. So from the sources, because we don't get all the raw data. So if you go and if you see the data sources, you will have thousands of sources where you have raw data is available. So we don't bring all the raw data as it is. We apply a lot of transformation. We are going to be bringing the meaningful data. What normally we do, we create a lot of tables. It is a large database. If somebody asks you what is a data warehouse means, which is a large database. So company is going to be maintaining, you will have thousands of SQL tables are going to be prepared, and all these tables are not independent tables. They'll have a proper schema. And using this, what normally we do, we get the data, and afterwards, you're going to be creating a lot of, data analytics, right? For example, the Walmart company wanted to know which product is selling high. So they wanted to know, so product wise analytics or product which is selling in more demand. So that is what they wanted to analyze. The Walmart company cannot go to each and every source and they cannot run the show. So that is the first problem. So what they have to do it, they have to get all the data and dump all the data into the unified or integrated manner. The companies are started using data warehousing architecture. So now this data warehousing architecture where you will get meaningful data, not raw data. Raw data may have a bad data, unnecessary data. That is a lot of data you have it in the source. But in the data warehousing, we apply a lot of transformation. We get only meaningful data, whatever we wanted to have to get some insights, right? So using that, later on what we do, we are creating a Power BI, or some people may use Excel, or people may use a Tableau or a Looker. So one platform they're going to be using it, so they can analyze. So this is the more demanding product today, or this region where you have more sales of Apple iPhone latest model. So whatever they wanted to analyze, or they wanted to get the analytics. So this is how the companies are doing. So now what is the biggest problem here? So if you're working with the data, today raw data is normal data, which is a completely big data environment we're talking about, right? If you wanted to get the big data environment, you're going to be going what is called as a data warehousing. So in the big data environment, the data warehousing is called nothing but your synapses, right? Azure Synapse, where you create SQL tables and you build a data warehouse, right? So once the Synapse is going to be getting your raw data and meaningful data using this Synapses analytics, what normally we do, we are going to be using Power BI and create all the reports, and these reports are going to be given to the end users. This is what, so normally in the real time is going to be happen. But what is the biggest problem? You need to ingest the raw data. So big data, that is one problem. And if you wanted to get raw data and do lot of transformations here to work with the big data. So if you apply a lot of transformations and load the data into the synapses, means for the transformations purpose, we're going to be using a lot of Spark jobs, right? So to clean the data, or or if you wanted to apply some kind of a changes or summarizing the data, Spark jobs are going to be implemented. Again, here we're going to be having a lot of SQL tables. Data warehouse means SQL tables only. So after the Spark, we're going to be dumping here and putting data into the SQL table, that is Spark data warehousing. Synapse Analytics means again data warehousing storages, right? Data warehousing workloads. And using this, you have one Power BI software, so that you can just go there and try to create a lot of reports. This is what we're going to be doing. But now to work with the data, so there is a team called data engineering team is going to be using different software called data bricks, right? Data bricks are going to be using it here. And to ingest the big data, if you would like to ingest here, you're going to be using what is say Azure Data Factory. That is what you're going to be using it here. And for the Spark, data bricks we're going to be using in, we're going to load the data and try to create a lot of transformations. After that, we use Azure, Gen 2 storage, where you may create a data lake or a Delta Lake. So Delta Lake, if you know, it is going to be more powerful in order to maintain the data with high quality. So as we discussed already, what is the biggest problem of a big data? Big data, biggest problem is the quality. If the quality is not so good of the data, then the issue is that you will not be able to produce meaningful insights. End of the day, data analytics or AI/ML workloads, if you wanted to implement, you need to have very cleaned, so very cleaned data that you need to have. Biggest problem of a big data is the quality. So if you simply take the data and you have a lot of sources where all the data you're going to be taking, and these are sources, okay? From the sources, you take all the data and dump into data lake. If you simply put a data lake and put all the data here, this is not a cleaned data. Data lake is a folder, or you can say Google Cloud folder or a OneDrive folder. So data lake is not going to guarantee that it can maintain a cleaned data. So instead of a data lake house, instead of a data lake, what people are using now, people are using lake house architecture, okay, or a delta lake. Okay, Delta Lake. So this is the new architecture got created. So what is the difference between normal data lake and Delta Lake? Here you can maintain the high quality of the data. Clear? Normal data lake can maintain the data. It is not guaranteed that your data is cleaned, or you have your data with what do you say, with no duplicates, or if you have a lot of issues with the data. Means data lake is a simply folder. You can get any bloody data, wrong data, right data. Data lake cannot ensure that it is a cleaned. But now companies have slowly started using Delta Lake is a new concept introduced by Linux guys in 2020, right? So What is the biggest problem of big data? I told you quality. Data lake will not ensure your quality, but a Delta Lake is going to be ensuring your quality. So 2020 Linux people have invented this. Now the same data lake architecture is also taken over by the data bricks company. If you wanted to store large amount of data today, even data lake or any big data softwares like Microsoft HD Insight or Amazon EMR or any company, they are not using data lake today. They are using Delta Lake today. So if you wanted to store large amount of data today, we are going to be using what is called as a Delta Lake. Delta Lake where it will check the data consistency, quality of the data will be maintained here. So data lake cannot guarantee that. Data lake is a simply folder. If you put wrong data, so data lake will maintain the wrong data only. But if you put wrong data in the Delta Lake is not going to be maintaining that kind of a wrong data. It will have a lot of data consistency features using that you can clean and maintain the clean data. So that kind of environments also we can store. So here we're talking about big data workloads, data ingestion. We need to have ADF, Synapse Analytics. We need to have Spark for the cleaning purpose. We need to have. We may use normal ADB Spark jobs or even Synapse Spark is also there. So you can get the data cleaned with the Synapse Spark. Spark means to transform and to aggregate the data. And after that, to load, we may use Data Lake or Delta Lake. And after that, a Power BI workloads you need to have. Lot of things we are going to be using, but these tools are completely independent tools. So these are data engineering workloads, and this is what is called a Power BI workloads, right? Independent tools, people are using. So that is when Microsoft thought, why is that we need to maintain a data engineering activity separately using different tools like ADF you need to have to ingest the data, and to transform the data, you need to have ADB, and to create a data warehousing, we're going to be using Synapse Analytics and data warehousing, right? And we're going to be using Delta Lake to store your large amount of data. Delta Lake, because lake house is a, data lake is not there. Delta Lake, because data lake can maintain the data, but Delta Lake will maintain a cleaned data. That is the difference between data lake and a Delta Lake, right? So if you have, so 10, 20, 20 here, this is having a duplicate data. This kind of a data, you can store it in the data lake. But when you dump this kind of a data, it will get cleaned, right? It will maintain that there is no duplicates here. Even though you try to put wrong data here, Delta Lake will not allow that. So Delta Lake allows about consistency about the data, increasing the quality of the data. Clear? So Delta Lake concept invented by Linux guys in 2020. Same thing today, implemented throughout your Databricks environment or your big data environment. So we are using lot of things, and once data is ready, then on top of that you're going to be using Power BI. So what it tells, so now not only one tool we are going to be using here, so we are going to use different tools. So what are the tools we are using? If you're a data engineer, you're going to be using a data ingestion tool called EDF. If you're a Spark guy, you're going to be getting data from the data lake and try to load the data. So data lake we are using. Now today companies are not using the data lake, Delta Lake, or people are saying lake house. Okay, so many names. It is called as lake house architecture, or people will say not a normal table, delta table it is. Okay, data lake may create normal tables, but delta lake will create a delta tables where it is the purpose is to maintain the cleaned data. That's it. Okay, so ADB you need to have, and Synapse Analytics for the data warehousing workloads, and after that a Power BI to create lot of reports. Instead of maintaining data engineering separately, data analytics separately, what Microsoft thought, let me give you a tool called MS Fabric. So using this tool, MS Fabric, you have data engineering workloads plus data analytics workloads are completely taken into consideration. Data engineering plus data analytics workloads. Data analytics means here, data engineering means what? ETL, SQL, all this work, right? Data lake and Delta Lake, whatever it is, all of them will be below. Data analytics means the Power BI and everything. So Microsoft is also having Azure Data Explorer to work with the real-time data analytics. Okay, real-time IoT data, real-time data analytics purpose. It was using Azure Data Explorer. So where we are going to be writing lot of Custo language code. Okay, Custo language code people are developing. So this is only for the real-time analytics. Now you need not, again install Azure Data Explorer or try to work with separate tools. To work with the real-time analytics or normal analytics or real-time analytics, everything is, real-time analytics also can work. Okay. So real-time analytics workloads purpose, we were using a Custo language as part of the Azure or Microsoft. So that is also getting integrated. So Microsoft Fabric is one platform where you can do ADF workloads, ADB, that is transforming the data, because ADB, nothing but you have a Spark. The same Spark and notebooks you can develop, right? So same notebooks you can also develop here. So Delta Lake, Lake House, blah, blah, blah. Many things are there. But in the Microsoft Fabric, we have so data lake in Azure, right? So what is the data lake? Data lake is nothing but ADLS Gen 2, Azure Data Lake Gen 2. So that is what we have implemented. So using data lake only, now in the Microsoft Fabric, we have one lake architecture. So this is for data storage in Fabric. Clear? If you wanted to store the data, we are going to be using in Azure Data Lake, right? Data Lake Gen 2. But one lake architecture is completely taken. One lake architecture is completely based on the Gen 2, that is Azure Data ADLS architecture, right? Gen 2 architecture it is, but it is nothing but your Delta Lake architecture. It is not purely Data Lake. Even Delta Lake, if you wanted to create, Delta Lake is using Gen 2 only, right? So if you wanted to store large amount of data, we use Gen 2, but one lake architecture is the new one. So where you're going to be dumping all the data, and from this your ADB notebooks or anybody can take the data and try to perform the operations. Clear? So Microsoft Fabric, you need not learn again, because if you already know data engineering activities, data engineering means you are going to be learning ETL, ELT, SQL, DL, or Spark you're going to be learning. So all of them, if you know it, and the only thing is that if you know how to open a Fabric account, and so that you can easily can become a Microsoft Fabric developer. So Microsoft Fabric is one platform as a SaaS model. It is software as a service. It is going to be giving you software as a service. It is a SaaS, software as a service, right? So like that. So we're talking about Azure Databricks and everything. It is a platform as a service, right? It is a SaaS, software as a service. This one software where entire team need not spend money and everything in different platforms. So if you want to maintain data analytics, you install Power BI and try to use the things there. And data analytics is going to be connecting to the different sources and getting the data. So instead of you're getting the data somewhere, I'm storing the data somewhere, and I create a Spark notebook, Spark jobs are running separately. So there is no integrated approach, right? So Microsoft Fabric is one platform, SaaS model, where data engineering work you can do it, data analytics work you can do it, and all your Custo codes, real-time analytics codes, everything will be working. So this is what is integrated platform. Clear? One platform where you can get a Power BI, data analytics, data engineering work. You need not go and do lot of things. See? So Microsoft Fabric is a unified data and data analytics platform that integrates data engineering workloads, means data ingestion, ADF and ADB, right? Data science, real-time analytics means I'm talking about Custo programming, and the business intelligence means Power BI into a single cloud-based experience. Did you understand what is a Microsoft Fabric, guys? This is the introduction to Microsoft Fabric. If you see the architecture clearly, so as I told you, we are able to see one lake where the data is getting stored. It is nothing but your Gen 2, ADLS Gen 2 architecture. One lake is nothing but your Delta. It is not a normal lake, data lake. It is a delta lake house architecture. Delta lake, or you can say delta tables and a lake house architecture it is. Am I clear? So what is a delta table and what is a lake house architecture? All of them you would have learned in your Databricks. If not, you're going to be learning there. So one lake is prepared based on Gen 2 architecture. All the data will get stored. This is your CustoDB. CustoDB means to perform the real-time analytics, your data warehousing. Everything is delta format only. What is a Parquet? What is a delta? So that you are going to be learning as part of your Databricks. Now, so Lakehouse is a single storage where you're going to be storing your data. So you have a T-SQL, right? From this, you will be able to get your, SQL workloads, Spark workloads, your Custo, right? That is Custo workloads, analysis, lot of things you're going to be, using here. And if you see Synapse data warehousing, it is integrated. Synapse data engineering activities and a data factory is getting integrated. And the Synapse data science, Synapse real-time analytics, normal Power BI analytics, lot of things are going to be working here. So this is what is called very, very important, guys. And in a single platform, where you have complete work. Data warehousing work can be done, data storing work can be done, data engineering work can be integrated, and all the applications are using one lake concept, which is based on the Gen 2, so that you will be able to put your data and different teams, ML teams, real-time analytics teams. We're talking about IoT data, we're talking about real-time analytics data, right? So all of them can be integrated and you will be able to go and try to work with this. So this is what somebody asks you, one lake architecture, or you can say a Gen 2 Delta Lake architecture. That is what Microsoft Fabric is using. So you can do AI, ML, Power BI, real-time analytics, right? Synapse data means what? It is data warehouse. Synapse data engineering means it is data warehousing data. Everything is got implemented in a one storage layer, that is one lake architecture, right? So that is what we're going to be learning. So one lake is built on ADLS Gen 2. It is not normally data lake, it is a delta lake. One lake is a delta lake. What is a delta lake? We'll understand in your Databricks environment. Are you clear? So this is the architecture about so this is the architecture about this. Okay. So now I wanted to tell you one more thing. So how to create a account in Fabric? So that is what is very, very important. Serverless means what? So serverless means what? So server full and serverless, or you can say serverless and with server. Serverless means you have one CPU, one dedicated hardware used by one application. If you don't have a dedicated hardware, it is what is called as a serverless. For example, 10 people are using one hostel premises. Do you have a separated room for you? No. We 10 people or we 5 people working in a 5 sharing room we have. So that is a shared room. So when you have a shared room, it is not your room, it is not my room, it is 5 people are using that. It is roomless staying, means you don't have a dedicated room. Otherwise, you can take one room and you can say, I'm using a room number 1, you're using a room number 2, you're using a room number 3. Serverless means if all applications are sharing a single server, right? There is no dedicated server. That is the meaning. Five people are using a single room. I'm a roomless guy. What is the meaning? Five people are saying it is also my room, it is also your room, it is also their room. So that is a serverless. Serverless means what? Many applications are using the same hardware. There is no dedicated hardware. That is what you got to understand, right? So dedicated hardware means only one thing is working within that. Clear? Sure. Now, if you wanted to work with Microsoft Fabric, so however we have app.powerbi.com, same way you can go and create one app.fabric Microsoft.com. MS Fabric is associated with the Power BI. If you have any Power BI account, if you create any Power BI account, automatically you will be able to use that Power BI account, and so that you can create a enable Microsoft Fabric services, you will be able to use, right? But if you don't have any Power BI account, so step number one, what all you need to do? Okay, step number one, if you wanted to create a free Fabric account, okay, free Fabric account, if you wanted to create, so we need to have one official email ID. As you know, however, we have Power BI, you need to have one official email ID, right? So you need to take one official email ID, and after that you need to go to app.fabric.com. So using this, you need to use this. Now, I wanted to go, I have a lot of accounts already I have created. If anybody having Power BI account, they can easily use this. Otherwise, you have to create one official email ID, you need to get it, and using that you can go here, and with the help of app.fabric.com you can register this official email ID. So I think 60 days the trial will be there. Okay, trial will be there. After that you need to use this as a pay as you go account. Clear? So Fabric is associated with the Power BI. So if you have a Microsoft Power BI account, that we can use it. For example, I wanted to go. How do you use Power BI account? You need to go app.powerbi.com. I wanted to go here. So login. Let me use PBA user 124. So I have one user ID. Let me go and try to log in. I'm using a password, right? What is the password? What is the email ID I'm using? PBI user 124 at the rate go online trainings. Okay, trainings.com. What is the password? Password is India at the rate 12, so that you can also use this. All small letters. Clear? So if it is not working today, you can go and create one more new account later. So this is my official email ID that I'm going to be using. You need to register with your Power BI, right? If you don't have this account, you can get one official email ID with the password. You can simply go to HTTPS, okay, and open account directly here, because already I'm having this account. So with the India at the rate password, I wanted to go and try to log in into this. It is showing all Power BI is directly associated with this. Okay, so after trial ends, the Fabric trial capacity little blah blah blah, you are going to be working with Fabric. If see it, it is already created 10 days back, right? If you click on this, you will be able to turn completely into Fabric account. Now, if you see carefully, there is a 1 lakh catalog. Have you seen? So there is a 1 lakh catalog. So if you go and try to open this, so you will be able to find 1 lakh catalog that will be enabled. It is not there before. It was not there before for all your Power BI accounts. Remember, for all your Power BI accounts, whatever accounts you have created, you have this 1 lakh catalog. If it is not there, you will be able to go and click on the settings. Here, you will have, there is a manage portal, Fabric portal. In that, you need to go and try to access the portal and enable your, what do you say? Fabric portal. So if you enable, so everything, it is looking like a Power BI, right? It is looks like a Power BI portal only. But when you go here and try to enable this, automatically all the look and feel will change. Now this user ID will get a it will get created, activated, and you will get one lake. Am I clear? That is what you got to understand, guys. Okay, once you activate your settings here, so the entire Power BI look will disappear. You will be able to get, the fabric look there. So you will get ADF, ADB, and I wanted to go and continue further. Okay, let me go and try to, guys, anybody is having your account so that I can go and log in into this, right? So you can simply go app.fabric.com directly. So try to sign in with Microsoft app.this.com. So let me go sign out this. I don't want to, it is not giving me any option at all. So this is, I wanted to go open and try to log in into app.powerbi.com. So already I have some user ID. It is already taken. I think same user ID it is taken. If you see, you will be able to completely use this existing Power BI user ID. You will see 1 lakh catalog and you see a fabric. Have you seen this? When you click on the fabric, you will be able to work with all your Spark jobs, ADF jobs, lot of things you're going to be using it here. Now you can go try to use this, app.fabric.microsoft.com. All your, official email ID is registered with the app.powerbi.com can be used here because Fabric is associated with the, uh, you know, uh, Power BI. Now, what you need to do, you need to simply go click on this, right? You will go and try to see a lot of things are available. Click on the Microsoft Fabric here. So, develop new data analytics, blah, blah, blah. So, click on this. So, click on the Fabric account. You need to create a folder. So, what is the step number one? You need to go create one folder. So, go and I will say it is going to be, let me say, Star Health Fabric Workspace. Workspace means a folder. Okay. Created by Jogi. So I wanted, you can also go and create, use the same email ID, PBA user 124, and automatically which is going to be taking and create one workspace means a blank folder. So go and try to create this. And once it is created, you will be able to go and try to work with your workloads. Whatever you would like to work, you can simply go and try to work with the different workloads, right? Copy a job, event stream data, Cosmos, data flow, blah, blah, blah. Lot of things you have it. You will be able to create lot of pipelines, Spark job definitions, right? Notebooks you can create, whatever you would like to create, Cosmos DB, many things you will be able to go and try to implement this so that you can go and try to put your data. So create a pipeline one and create and do the data ingestions and everything there. Yeah, am I clear? So this is how you're going to be working with the Microsoft Fabric, which is going to be completely associated with the Power BI. So you go and try to create the pipeline and the pipeline activities you have, copy data. So a lot of things are available here. You will be able to go and see the copy data activity, data flow, delete data, all this, get metadata, if condition. Have you seen this? Everything, whatever you have learned. So same thing is available here and try to go and create your pipelines and everything, right? Copy data activity, I wanted to have it. With that, if you go and if you see clearly, you have a source and sink, same thing. You can create a data set, data source, everything and click on run. So triggers, if you see completely whatever you have implemented as part of your Azure Data Engineering ADF, the same thing is here. Simply go create a pipeline by pipeline and try to load the data and try to go with this, right? So instead of using data lake, we are going to be using one day, one lake or one lake catalog. That's it. So you're going to be taking the destination as a one lake, and source can be also one lake, or source can be anything else, SQL database or a data warehousing database, and try to implement, and so that you will be able to work with this Microsoft Fabric. And you can also get the data, put the data on top of that. You create a notebook, you can apply Spark jobs and try to clean your data, whatever we discussed so far in the notebooks, right? You can apply ranking functions, which product is in the more demand. So all these workloads can be achieved with the help of your Spark jobs and everything. So this is how you are going to be working with Microsoft Fabric. And if you know Power BI very well, if you know data engineering, Azure data engineering very well, so don't go and learn, Microsoft Fabric, because the Microsoft Fabric, nothing, new here. Only thing is that the 1 lake is the new, and that is also Delta Lake platform. What is the Delta Lake? We'll understand anyhow when the data breaks. So if you know that one. So almost many things here, right? So one or two small things you may not know, but if you go Google it and try to understand, you will know lot of things. Will be available here. So this is what is called the Microsoft Fabric. So this is currently Microsoft recommending to learn. So already you people have done with the Power BI. You knew Microsoft data, the Azure data engineering. So you people are already aware, how to use them. Only thing is that you should know how to create a workspace, how to, get the data, load the data. Some one or two demos, if you see from Google or from the YouTube, you will be able to work with these guys. Chalo, any questions?